Hello?
Why are you
Hello?
calling me?
Why are you calling me, Jeff?
I'm not. You called me.
Dude, I would never call you.
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right.
I, I see
But
you on TV right now.
I don't see you.
Well, welcome to the not quite mastermind.
Yes, this is the small mind, the
Yeah.
small mastermind. And Kelly, just for your record, I did have a salad today for lunch. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you holding him to diet accountability, Kelly, or
No,
what?
no. If anybody hasn't seen
No.
Kelly's show, you really should see the show. And there was a little part in there. I'm going through Facebook last night. I'm like, what the heck? I'm tagged on her interview, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's basically an apology in advance kind of deal. And so I look at it, and of course I chuckle because like if you can't make fun of yourself, like you can, but like literally my wife is still laughing. And I think like there's a point where like you got to stop, right? Like you can overdo it. She's overdone it. So.
I got to go check this out, Kelly. Can't wait for the mastermind to be over so I can go see what you posted.
Right, I know. That's
It was
kind
a
of
little play
typical
on
for this.
another
Like
post
everybody
that
can't
Todd
wait for it to be over.
Oh, excellent.
Listen, let's get into this. We're 4 minutes in. I want to leave some opportunity here for some real like participation. So if you got on this call thinking that you were going to have your computer off and yourself muted so that you could go off and do like 14 other things, this is not the call. You should hang up right now because I quite literally am going to start picking on people. But what I want to talk to you all today is about lead generation, but I want to get a little more specific than that, right? Here's the reality. The reality is, and I just had a great lunch with Stephen Schiff, our productivity guru, and Julie Thurston, our managing director in the Vail office. And the topic of conversation was this business is, it's simple. Like this is the most simple business on the planet, but it's really fucking hard. All right. It's really hard. There are a plethora of excuses that we all use to keep us from doing the things that we know they need to be done, and it becomes a challenge. And so we're going to dig in, right? I want to talk about the most challenging, like the hardest lead sources on the planet. Like not the easy ones, like not the ones where you just pay somebody $500 and they go generate the leads for you. I'm talking about the ones that really require hard work. And I want to beat them up a little bit here because I know we got some great top producing agents on the call. And so I think this would be a great reminder for us only 22 days into the year, because we want like this group right here, especially, and I'm coaching many of you. So I know what your goals are, and they're hairy. They're what do they call them? BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals, right? So let's chat a little bit about, well, who wants to tell us which lead source is the absolute hardest lead source on the planet? Jen Peterson, what's the hardest lead source on the planet?
Well, thanks, Todd. I was hoping I'd have an opportunity to address this topic
Well,
today.
I figured I'd do this early for you so that you could tune out for the rest.
So you and I have discussed 4 main sections of focus for me for this year, and telephone calls for me are very difficult. And I'm just looking at my systems. There are things that are much harder than telephone calls, but I am not great at reaching out to people when it comes to phone calls. So that is my arch nemesis. And I'm going to succeed, by God.
Are you talking about people that you know, or are you talking about cold calls?
All of them.
Just phone calls. Yeah.
Derek, you're like, why are you in this business?
No, that makes no
I
sense.
think
You're
it's
so
great.
awesome at talking, and for you to say that just astonishes me, and it actually makes me nervous for everybody else who isn't as awesome as you, Jen.
Oh, stop. But
Well,
yeah,
but
something that
here's the point of what she's saying, right? As I said at the very beginning, this is the most simple of businesses, right? All we do is we talk to people find out whether or not they have a need for our service. That's to buy or sell real estate. And then we help them to fill that need to buy or sell real estate, and we get paid for it, right? Is there any more to the business than that?
A little bit, but that's the basics.
Yeah. So but it's super hard. How many of you struggle with this making phone calls? Every single one of you struggle with making phone calls. Every single one of you. Why is it so hard? Who's winning at phone calls right now? And boy, I got to tell you, it better be Derek and Jeff that raised their hand. But who's winning at phone calls?
I am.
Okay, Adam, tell me, what is it, like, would you agree that making phone calls is hard, but it's very simple?
No.
You don't think it's hard?
No.
Okay. Talk to me, dude. Talk to me, Goose. Why is it not hard for you?
Because I'm used to, from my previous life before real estate, having to hustle and call and talk to people to get work. So, as a musician, so I have that.
Damn, I know that you have some good stuff to tell us. Unfortunately, you're skipping all over the place. Is anybody else having a hard time?
No, he was good.
Oh, it's my internet. Okay, yeah. So it was my internet. It just told me. Sorry, Adam. That was my bad. So your previous career has conditioned you to be able to make phone calls without an issue.
Yes, I mean, I look at making phone calls and talking to people in person all as one thing. It's just talking to people is our number one job if we want lead generation.
So the way you have overcome the challenge of making phone calls is that you've reframed it as just having a conversation with people.
Yeah, I don't care if it's in person or on the phone, on the internet, whatever. Talk to people, reach out and talk to them. Wherever they're at.
Interesting. Love it. Okay. Anybody else? Who's struggling with making phone calls? I want to hear from you.
You know, I think my biggest struggle with them is I don't like being a nuisance. So, and I personally hate being sold to. So I don't want to be sold to. And I try to be kind like that to other potential clients too. Probably at the detriment of a few deals because I don't want to bother them.
So when you say to the detriment of a few deals, what do you mean? Give me an example of what you're talking about.
Because I don't follow up with them as much as I should, they end up hiring somebody else.
So let me ask you a question, Kelly. Are you good at what you do?
I am.
Are there, like if that client got an average agent, would they have the same level of experience, success of winning as they would if you were their agent?
And it kills me every time I see somebody that I've spoken with before, list with somebody else. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you're going to get 50% service out of this deal.
That's right. So their experience is going to be less. They're probably, if they're a seller, they're probably going to get less for their property. It's probably going to take longer for them to sell the property. If they're a buyer, they're probably going to overpay, or they're going to get a property that really doesn't fit all of the check marks. They just finally just buy it, right? So
right. And it's one of those things that when I think through it, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I should make the phone calls because I know that I'm going to do a great job for my clients, but I don't know. Trying to be nice. I don't know.
Yeah. But being nice would be making sure that you are, without question, the one they choose, or at least they have all the information, right? They almost need to be rescued from a decision that could be really bad. So really, you're on a rescue mission, aren't you?
I guess, yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, if you really want to be nice, you're going to give them the best they can possibly get, right?
No, I agree. And I do see, when I do see them list with somebody else, my first thought is, well, that serves you right. You should have called them. So, I mean, that serves them right, serves me right, because that's bad on me. I should have made the phone call.
Right. So again, a very simple thing. We have a gazillion different scripts, right? Like the one that's out there right now, right, is we have the smart home giveaway, and that's a real simple call. Hey, Kelly, it's Todd Conklin. How the heck are you? Hey, listen, the only reason I'm calling, I sent out an email the other day that is my giveaway. I'm giving away a free smart home kit. I thought of you. I just want to make sure that you got it. Did you get it? Make sure you enter. How is everything going?
Yeah, no, that's a great one because one of my clients won the last one. So it's a really great one for me.
So we have real easy scripts that we can follow, and they're simple, right? Really simple. The hard part for each and every one of you is the lie that you're telling yourself, right? Kelly just shared with us the lie she's been telling herself, right? Well, I don't want to be pushy, and I don't, I want to be nice. Well, if she were really nice, she'd be making sure that she's offering the value that she offers to her clients so that they don't have to deal with an average agent. Yes? Somebody else, give me something else. Why is it hard for you?
I kind of had to break through a wall pretty recently. Can you hear me all right? This is my first time.
Yeah.
So, I was having a conversation with my fiance about how it's hard for me to make those calls, especially when I haven't done them for a while, similar to everybody else with the aspect that I don't want to be buggy and all this. And she was like, well, did something happen to make you feel that way? Like, did you have a bad experience? And I sat down and thought about it, and I really haven't had a single bad experience that would make me act that way. It was just my own personal wall that I threw up that was causing me not to do the things that I knew that I needed to do. So I don't know. Thought it was
awesome. And now, what's happened now? Like, how do you deal with these things? Like, are you having a problem? Is it hard for you to pick the phone up and make phone calls?
I realized that if I don't start talking to people in the morning, then I won't do it. I was saving it for the afternoon, and I gotta kind of just eat that frog first thing in the morning, or else it gets pushed off indefinitely.
I love it. Well done, Dylan. Congratulations. Anybody else have a reason why it's hard for them?
Hey, Todd, I'd just share a little bit. One of the things I've always kind of struggled with is the diversity of my clients. I've got some young people clients that work for some employer 8 to 5, and you can't get a hold of them on the phone. They'll get in trouble if they take a personal call during the day. So that has to be like a 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. evening call. I've got quite a handful of semi-retired people that only live here seasonally. Mm-hmm. So some months of the year they're gone, they're back in Missouri or wherever. And then a group of business owner folks that are at their desk like we are, kind of 8 to 5. You can call them at 10 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. So it's just trying to find those time slots to actually get a hold of your people. And it varies from day to day, week to week, and month to month, and trying to manage that.
Okay, I love it. Can I know you're tough, so can I be honest with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the lie that you're telling yourself is that the challenge is that people are all over the place, and I think they have phones in Wisconsin. Is that what you said?
Yep, I've got some clients from Missouri.
Okay, do they have phones in Missouri? Does the cell phone work there?
Not yet. It's the can and the string.
Right, exactly. So, but isn't it funny, right? Okay, so then what you're saying is that I can call people, everybody will answer the phone if I call between 5 and 7, right? Because even the young people are off work, right? Yep. And I don't know, we have quite a few young people that work for us. I haven't seen anybody not answer the phone yet. Maybe that's just shame on me, but so maybe some different things though, right? I can make calls to young people. The one I love when I call somebody who is under the age of 30 is like you call them, it immediately dumps to voicemail, right? And I immediately get a text back, hey, what's up? Right? So maybe I have to change the way I communicate with them. I can just text back, hey, answer the fucking phone, right? Or, hey, how are you? What's happening? Hey, just wanted to make sure that you got my email I sent. I'm doing a drawing. I'm giving away a smart home kit for your home. I thought of you. How are you? right?
Yep. And I've even found that to be true, even with, kind of online lead stuff, whatever, that with that younger set, you can call, and you get voicemail all day. You send them a text, and it's like, oh, hey, great to hear from you. And they text right back. So very, very good point.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to some different lead sources. So what's another top lead source, like that's, as far as it's super simple, but it's really hard? Pam Colesworthy. I told you, I'm just going to start calling on people. PC, baby, come on.
Had to find the unmute. Okay. Door knocking.
Door knocking. Okay. So why is it simple?
Why is it simple? Because you knock on the door and either somebody answers or they don't.
All right. And do you have a script that you use for door knocking?
Well, I did that one time I did it.
I love you. All right. So the one time that Pam did the door knocking, she had a script. Can you share with us what that script was?
Well, I had a listing in the neighborhood and I wanted to make sure that everybody in the neighborhood was aware of the listing.
Okay. So I just answered the door. Hi. And
Hi.
You are?
Hi, I'm Pam Colesworthy. And by the way, I think I mentioned this in a previous mastermind, so forgive me, anybody who's already heard this. I was just admiring, and I tell them something nice about their home. And they go, oh, thank you. And I said, hey, the reason I'm here is because blah, 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 blah. I'm in the neighborhood and so forth. And are you familiar with the house? Have you seen it yet? Do you know anybody who would be interested? And I have a brochure, and I can't remember the rest of it.
Okay, great. And the one door you knocked on, did they answer?
No. I did the whole neighborhood.
Oh, good.
And
good.
Thank you, though. And I got to know some nice people. It was good.
Right? It was awesome, wasn't it? So let me ask you a question. Why was it so damn hard?
Actually, on that particular day, it wasn't hard. I think I think that in our North Valley, our neighborhoods generally don't lend themselves to it. I mean, there are a few little pockets here and there.
Why is that?
Because the houses are all spread out, and I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you have to walk too far.
Well, it's not like it's not your normal little neighborhoods.
Okay.
That's all. It's just
so So you had a good time, and it sounds like it was fairly successful, but you've only done it the one time. Why haven't you not done it more?
That's a good question. And
okay.
I don't have
Somebody else want to help out? Why is not? Because is there anybody on this call right now that knocking on doors is like super easy for them? They do it all the time. Like, absolutely, I got this. Or is this one of those areas that people? I mean, it's hard.
I mean, you do have to carve out the time. You have to say, and you put it on your calendar, and you're going to spend the 2 to 3 hours or whatever it is, because you do have to be able to take the time. When somebody does answer the door, you're going to have possibly a 5-minute conversation, and then plus on my case.
Sounds hard.
No, but then in my case, I was leaving notes on everybody's doors too.
Yeah. So let's beat this up just a little bit, because as we know, right, knocking on doors is a very effective and very simple marketing strategy for a number of different things, right? Number one, if I've got a new listing, obviously that's a no-brainer, right? I have an opportunity to knock on doors multiple times for a new listing. Let's walk through them and we'll count. Mark, you keep track of how many, okay? So let's see. I'm going to knock on the door the minute I get told that I'm going to list the property, and I'm going to go and have a conversation with everybody saying, hey, listen, I have a property that I'm going to be bringing on the market. It's 123. It's the Johnson House, right? 123 Main Street. And my experience is that the people that live in the neighborhood already know some people that would like to be living in the neighborhood. And so I just wanted to make sure that you got like the pre listing opportunity. Here's my business card. If you know anybody, please call me. Right. So there's number one. Okay. Number two. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, listen, we're getting close to bringing the Johnson house on. We're doing the final touch-ups and getting the photography and doing all the marketing. And it's a lot of stuff that we do to market properties correctly. We're going to be doing an open house. I wanted to make sure that I personally invited you. And I'd love to hear your feedback about how we positioned the property. And oh, by the way, if you know anybody, right? Number three, okay, hey, open houses today. Don't forget me, right? Doing the open house today. 4, hey, thank you so much for coming to the open house. We got some great feedback, and I just wanted to hear from you. How did everything go? Number 5, hey, we just reduced the price of the property. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware the property has been reduced by $10,000. Number 6, hey, great news. The property is now under contract and it's pending. Excuse me, super excited for the buyers. Problem, I have several qualified buyers that missed out on this property, and now I've got to go out and find them another property in the area that they might be interested in selling. Do you know anybody that might be interested in listing their property, selling their property? Yes, the Daniel's great. Okay, or no. Hey, can I ask you a question? Is this your dream home? No. What would your dream home be? Great. What would you have to sell this home for in order to be able to buy your dream home, right? And then last but certainly not least, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I know you were interested about the Johnson house down the street. We just closed yesterday. The price was this. Are you interested in knowing what that impact has had on the new value of your home? Okay, how many was that? 7? 8.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. All right. So, whatever, 7 or 8, whatever it was, folks. That's just for one listing. We haven't even gotten to the, I have a buyer that's interested specifically in Northridge, and so I'm just going to go knock on every door and be talking about, hey, I've got this person. Do you know anybody that's interested in selling? How about you? Are you interested in selling? Is this your dream home? Hey, I don't know. What's your plan? Hey, by the way, I can get you the value of your home. Just, why don't you give me your email, right? Well, we haven't talked about all those steps. So again, a super, super simple strategy for generating leads, but holy smokes, it's not easy, is it? It's hard. It's hard to get your ass out there and walk between each of those houses. It's hard to, like, oh my gosh, well, nobody's here. We live in a second home community. I guarantee you there's a time of year everybody's there. People are living there, right? Well, geez, I don't know. The homes are too far apart. I'm up in North Ketchum. I literally got to get in my car and, blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's okay. Like, again, it's hard, but it sure is simple. It's hard, but it sure is simple. And I don't know about you, but I will take any opportunity I can to get face-to-face, belly-to-belly with a potential client, because the online space, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Say it out loud. Online sucks, right? Like, yes, does it need to be part of your deal? Absolutely, right? Do you need to be doing social media? Sure, but unless you're, Kelly Maves or Kelsey Renovere, like, for most of us, like, social media is kind of a challenge, right? Zillow? Come on, give me a break. By the way, I coach a lot of people, right? There is one person that I coach that currently has a return on investment that is greater than what they spend each month. One. Think about that for a second. Anybody that's worked with Zillow knows that is not simple, right? It's both hard and complicated, because you got to pay the money, and then you got to get the lead, and then you got to nurture the lead, you got to figure out how to convert the lead, and then you got to figure out, like, what the hell? Give me another lead source that is super simple, but damn, it's hard.
FSBOs.
FSBOs.
It's super simple because they want to sell their house, but it's so hard.
Yeah, I wish. Here, come here. Come here.
Hi, everybody.
I have a guess. So we at the sales meeting this morning, there was it 2 or 3 people that were talking about how they'd just done deals for FSBOs?
I think right.
3? It was sort of crazy, right? Like, because we talk about why are FSBOs so hard?
Because they don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you.
They don't?
No, they don't. Until you sell their house.
Hold on one
and
second.
then they want to pay you 1%.
Don't want to see me, okay? What else?
They don't want to pay a commission.
No commission, okay? No money. Okay. What else?
They think they don't need you. They can do it on their own.
Okay, but there's a reason, right?
This is
Either
all
they
from
don't.
their perspective, of course.
They,
I mean,
right.
all kinds
So
of
they,
objection handlers you can
they
do.
can do it on their own. Do it on. Okay. What else? Anybody want to add to that list?
I'm the only one.
Well, they probably heard from about 7 other realtors too, so they're.
That's right. Oh, I love that one. Right? They're just they've been hit by every agent under the sun. Okay. All right. So can you just share with them real quickly? Like, do you know what it was that those folks had done? Why they did it to connect with?
So strictly for sale by owner?
Yeah.
Ooh, I may have misspoken. These are people who didn't have their properties on the market, but they were willing to sell. They weren't listed with another broker.
Okay.
So we're encouraging the agents to be more aggressive in reaching out to people who don't have their properties on the market or who are for sale by owner. In 3 examples, one generated an email to someone and simply told them how great the market was in their neighborhood and what the recent sales were. And within a week, they had a listing agreement. And within another week, it was sold. It's $2.2 million. Another one, Lynn, I think yours was one for sale by owner. What's your story?
She's been drinking, right?
Oh, no.
So like whatever comes out of her mouth, I'm not sure.
I'm going on vacation in an hour. I had a neighbor, I knew she wanted to sell, and I never seen this lady outside, and I was walking my dog, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to talk to her. And I said, are you still considering selling your home? I heard it through the grapevine. She said, I can't believe you're telling me this, asking me this right now, because we just found another place. And I tried to get the listing, or at least a one-party listing agreement. She was not having it. So I just sold it to my buyer, representing my buyer, treating her as a customer. We closed this morning. We were under contract within 2 days.
Awesome.
But it was just one conversation at the right time.
One conversation equals a vacation. That's fantastic.
Well, I am going to see my parents. That doesn't really count, even though they're at the beach. That's funny.
So then
I think the other one was
Ryan was showing a townhouse,
Yeah.
and it wasn't quite the right one. They liked the townhouse area, and he said, well, let's ask around. And he found another person in the yard and got information on a neighbor and mailed a letter, and they have an offer in.
And then there was another one that I remember they were talking about. The guy was actually underpriced, like but he still couldn't sell it. So there's a bunch of different things going on out there. I would thank you. Appreciate it. So I want to just, Kelly, again, I know you're tough. And by the way, I actually don't care that you're tough because you made fun of me yesterday on Facebook. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the things, because I think it's really normal for us to think, you know what, like these people have received 14 phone calls, right? I think the same thing is for expireds. Expireds and for sale by owners, for whatever reason, seem to follow the same, I'm going to call it the excuse cycle, just because I can't come up with anything else. But, you know, it becomes a lie that we tell ourselves. You know, they get hit by everybody. They can do it on their own. They don't want to pay the commissions. You know, they don't want to see me. So let's beat that up for just a second. For sale by owners, don't not want to see you. As a matter of fact, typically speaking, they know they have to see you in order to sell their home. What they're really trying to do is save at least 3% on the commission. If they can save 6%, that's really awesome. But what they really want to do is they want to save 3. And they know that many of the qualified buyers are already being represented by other agents. So it's not that they don't want to see you. As a matter of fact, they actually believe that at some level, they really need you. It really comes down to what it is that we're telling them, right? And it's one of the reasons that we have some very specific scripts that we follow that are about for sale by owners, right? And there's a whole process. So if anybody is interested in specifically what those are, we'll get you all the process. It comes everything from the mindset that you have to have in going into those, what the scripts are for the initial appointment, what the purpose of that you're trying to accomplish, like your one and only focus for that first meeting while you're going through the property, the information that you're going to follow up with, along with the scripts, etc. But they do want to see you. But I do understand that we feel jilted as real estate agents because on some level they've said, get away, right? Number 2 on that is they don't want to pay you. It's not that they don't want to pay you, it's that they want to make the most amount of money for their property that they possibly can. And there's usually a story there, right? Occasionally, it's that they got, jacked by some real estate agent and they hate real estate agents. And I guess that happens. It's never happened to me. But really it's about the amount of money that they need to get. So reframing that and having a conversation with people to say, hey, listen, what is it specifically that has gotten you to a place where you're trying to do this on your own? Because I think what you'll find is more often than not, they're underwater. They've taken out a third. They need to get X number of dollars in order to be able to buy the house that they want to go buy. You got to be able to walk through that with them. And we all know the numbers, right? The National Association of Realtors says that if you get represented by a realtor, you sell versus for sale by owner, you sell your property for how much more? What percentage more?
11.
Who said 11?
I did.
Winner. 11% more. Last I checked, full boat, like every cost, blah, 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 6%, 7% on commission rates, right? They make money. Like if they really want the most money for their property, they'll make sure they list it with you. They just don't know that yet. And so you have to give them that information. And then of course, they think they can do it on their own. Part of the scripting and part of the process that we follow for sale by owners specifically is helping them understand that there really is more to selling your property than just putting a sign out. A lot of real estate agents, and you guys have to understand this, and I know you know this actually, there are a lot of real estate agents that simply go, hey, great, sign here. They put it in the MLS. They barely have enough time to put a sign out, right? Like they're like, oh, I can't possibly do an open house. Hell, I can't send out a postcard or knock on a door. And there's some people, that's what they do, right? Well, if they believe that that's all real estate agents do, well, it makes perfect sense. So it's your job to say, hey, listen, can I just share with you, like, we as part of the meeting this morning, we were talking about how the sales volume was for the entire board is what? Is it up? It was up 4%?
Sales is down.
Oh, sorry. It was closed. It was down 2%. All right. So total sales volume in the Vail Valley market was down 2%, but the Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties agents sales volume was up like 30%. Right. So being able to walk in and have a conversation with a for sale by owner to say, hey, listen, can I share with you why, while the Vail market is down 2%, Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties is up 30%? Can I share with you some of the things that we're doing differently to increase the sales price and reduce the number of days on the market? Can I share some of these very important things with you? And that gives you that opportunity to talk about all of the things that you do, right? That sales cycle. And then the last one, Kelly, I think was, no, I guess that was you, Derek. So many people have called, like they're just inundated with people knocking on their door. And how many of you have done expired calls before? Nothing? Nobody? that you should do expired calls. Maybe that should be the next one. But my experience has been that when I made an expired call, part of my script was, hey, Mark, listen, I'm sure I'm like the 15th real estate agent to call you today, so I apologize. And I would start to go into my script, and Mark would say, actually, man, you're the first person that's called. What can I do for you? Because everybody is telling themselves the same lie. They're all telling themselves that everybody's doing, these people don't want to talk to me. They hate real estate agents. They want to get out of paying the money, not make more money. There's just, you've got to reframe it. But the process itself is super simple. Damn, it's hard. All right, give me another one. So Yazbek just put in here, for sale by owners accounted for 7% of the home sales in 2017. The typical for sale by owner home sold for $200,000 compared to $265,000. So 32.5% more for agent-assisted home sales. That's according to the 2018 NAR Realtor Profile of a Home Buyer. 32.5%. Thank you, Robert. Okay. What's another lead source that's really simple, but damn, it's hard? Shar, talk to me, Goose.
I'm still challenged with my SOI. I know that's supposed to be the easiest source, but all my SOI is on Facebook, and I don't have anybody's email address.
Okay, so you just to make sure I understand what you're saying. So you have a sphere of influence. These are people that know and love you, right?
Right.
Okay. And what you're saying is you don't know how to contact any of those people except via Facebook.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's just that I have that same feeling like I'm going to be bothering them. They don't want to hear from me just asking them for something simple like, oh, hey, can I have your email address? Or I feel like I need to be offering them a reason.
Yeah. Jab, jab, jab. I don't know if you've heard of the Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, but he talks a lot about that sentiment, that feeling that we all have. And again, it's just another one of the lies that we tell ourselves. And we got to figure out a way, right? We got to figure out a way to bring this down to the fact that it's super, super simple. Because here's the reality. Shar, if you were going to be throwing a birthday party, you'd figure out a way to get those people in your sphere of influence an invitation, wouldn't you?
Right, but I feel like they'd be more interested in coming to a birthday party than getting a market report.
Right. Totally. I get it. And I bet if you were to ask the other people that are on this call, there's a bunch of them that are going, yeah, I feel exactly the same way, right? Here's the thing. What we do for a living is we help people buy and sell real estate. That's what we do. And if we believe that we're good at it, then we're going to fight to make sure that the people that know and love us and that we know and love are going to get the absolute, unquestioned best experience that they can possibly have in real estate. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So are you the person to deliver that experience for the people that you know and love?
Yes.
Don't you think you owe it to them to tell them?
Yep, that's a very good point.
Right? It becomes this mindset thing that we do for ourselves. We do at Coldwell Banker, like we provide a bunch of ways for you to have these conversations with people that are the jab, 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 instead of always going, hey, hey, it's me. You want to know the value of your home? Hey, it's me. Do you want to sell your home? Hey, me. Do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell their home? Hey, that gets pretty old pretty fast. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. Right now we're doing the smart home giveaway, right? That's a simple one. Hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got the email I sent out yesterday. I'm giving away a free smart home package. Did you get it? Great, awesome. Make sure you enter. I thought of you when I saw all that technology. I know you love the gadgets. How's everything going?
That's the follow-up I need to do. I've done like the main post, but following up is not, I haven't done that. And that's very good.
Oh, this is a people business. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like most of the people that I talk to, once they get past the fear of the phone, they're beasts. They're absolute monsters. I think Dylan kind of alluded to it a little bit with his fiance, helping him out. But the bottom line is, folks, this is a simple business. It's just not easy, right? It's just not easy. There's a lot of nonsense, right? Whether it be our nonsense or somebody else's nonsense that gets in the way of us doing the actual work. But if we were really honest with ourselves, and I want to put this into perspective for just a second, right? If you're sick, okay? And you're going to die, right? Like, the only hope for you is that you have to walk 5 miles every single day. Not 5, not 4.9, and not 3, and not most days, but you have to walk every single day. Do you know how many of you would walk every single day 5 miles? Every single one of you. Because you don't want to die. You'll walk the fucking 5 miles. No excuses. You'll do exactly what you're told to do. You'll go to any length to ensure that you don't die. The same thing goes for your business. You all put together business plans and you said, hey, listen, this is how much money I'm going to make. It's all just a math equation. You all know that. Like, we've done this before, right? Every person on this phone call is a beast, right? And so it cracks me up. Like, you guys know exactly to the number how many people you've got to connect with. To the number, right? You know exactly how many people. So that number, that's your I'm gonna die number, okay? So the question is, are you willing to do the hard work, get through the hard part, and execute on something that's really, really simple so that you can have that goal that you've put out there? In the end, it becomes just this mindset component where you've just got to get yourself through it. And Dylan, I hope that worked for you. By the way, I'm going to give her a high five next time I see her. But each of us needs one of those accountability partners in our world. I think if you will, did Derek leave us? Yeah, so I was going to say, I'm
here.
Okay, there he is. So the managing directors, we put together a plan, just like you all put together a plan. Would you, Jeff and Derek, would you agree that it's pretty simple?
Yeah, but it's really hard.
Yeah, Jeff, simple?
Yeah, it's incredibly simple. It's just get your teeth.
It's almost stupid simple, isn't it? Like, it's for sure. Yeah, like it's so simple.
Yeah,
but it's really hard, isn't it?
Hardest thing you'll ever do.
Yeah. So Derek and Jeff, have either of you, 22 days into the month, have either of you done what you said you were going to do? That simple thing, 100%.
The days that I've been here, yes. First part of the year we were out of town, but aside from that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably walking 4.7, 4.8 of the miles.
Yeah. So, and the only reason I bring that up and I call them out is because, well, actually, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I want you to understand we're all on the same journey, right? We're all struggling with the same stuff. This is not stuff that we don't do. But as I told Julie earlier, like, my goal is to make sure that I execute 100% of the time, so that when I look at Jeff and I go, hey buddy, like, come on baby, you got to go. When I have a conversation with Kelly, I can say, come on Kelly, make it happen, right? And I can do that in authenticity. The other reason I say it is because I want each of you to hold them accountable. So every time you see them, right? Every time you see your managing director, I want you to say, hey, did you do your 1, 2, 3s today? Right? Trust me, it'll help them. Because the bottom line is this is a very, very, very simple business. There's nothing that we're doing that requires a medical degree or anything else, unless you're Jim Kuhn and you get yourself into all these crazy ass deals where you need to have, be a fucking rocket scientist. But otherwise, it's a very, very simple business. Getting through the mindset BS is what makes it really hard. Right? Okay. Anybody want to share any, this was the one thing that I did that completely changed my mindset and turned everything that was hard into easy? You have the floor. You've got 11 minutes.
Well, I haven't found that secret sauce yet, but I am going to try. I've had pretty good success about changing up my touches with my clients and putting in some what I consider to be very significant information. I did a magazine. I changed newsletters and just changed up my touches with my clients. And I got a referral from it. I just got a listing. You'll love this. I sent out my statistics. One of my clients, Joel, said, I disagree with him. I think the market's going to go the other way. I want to sell my unit that last one I sold him. And then he turned around, but he liked the statistics and what I said so well, he wants to buy another unit. So it's just changing up and getting very significant, meaningful information out, different than what I've been doing. It's been good for me. And Grace was great, wonderful. I send out all of the closing statements to all of my clients that I represented during the year. So I've got 29, 30 of them that are going out, and Grace did the envelopes and everything. And I usually have a letter that's auto-populated in front of them going, hey, this is your end of the year. This is the beginning, end of the year. This is your closing statement. Make sure it goes in with your CPA. And I'm leaving it out this year. And that's going to make me call those clients so they just don't get my statement without any reason. Why the hell did you sell me this? So in order not to look a fool, I have to call them. So Julie's been helping me being, calling me out and being more accountable. So that's the one way I've been accountable to myself. So I'm setting myself up to, if I don't do it, I really look stupid. So that's going to be my way. And I think that's really going to help.
Great. Okay. So anybody on the call have a secret sauce for how they turned lead generation that is so simple but hard into simple and easy? What are the hacks that you're using to do this stuff, folks? Like the people that are on this phone call right now, you all are doers. Like these are, I don't ever really worry about whether or not you guys are actually doing the shit or not. Maybe you're not doing as much as you want to be doing, but by and large, you're doing the work. Why is it that you're doing the work and so many others aren't? What's your secret sauce?
When I do lead gen, I'll start by telling myself that I'm only going to do one touch. And then the second I have that one phone call over with, I'm just like, damn, that was easy. Let's keep going.
One at a time. All right.
Starting is always the hardest.
Right. Sounds like a 12-step program, one day at a time. Who else? What's your hack?
I've used calling the person that you know the best first. Like if Todd was in my SOI, I could call Todd. We could shoot the breeze for 40 minutes. And at that point, I'm just ready to be like, all right, shit, I got 20 more to make. And it was just kind of like, it's almost like that liquid courage deal. He's like my shot of beer type of a deal. And then I can just rip through it. And then depending on the time of the day, I might actually have said beer.
Yeah.
Now that Jeff has a kid, he takes shots of beer. It's really
listen.
Let's
be sure he gets in front of the mirror and make sure his hair is absolutely perfect, and then he does it. So what Jeff just talked about is having the easy conversation first. I'm just going to make sure that everybody's clear. For me, it was the opposite. The easier conversations for me were the people I didn't know. I can't really explain that to you, other than the fact that I was young and I was inexperienced, and I felt like the people that knew me knew I was young and inexperienced, and the people that didn't know me, they have no fucking idea who I am. So like, I got this, right? So whatever feels right for you, whichever the easier ones, what he's saying is make one easy one and then make, 2 hard ones, and then make another easy one, and then make 3 hard ones, and then, right? Love that. Love that. Give me another one.
I keep the Ford. Yeah, I keep Ford up, with the friendship, occupation, relationship, and dream. And so in case I get it's hard for me to get hung up and not be able to say something, but if you stick to the script of just using Ford and going down the list, it's just made those conversations that much easier. There's always something to talk about.
Knowing what to say is an absolute game changer. Like really knowing what to say, having that script inside and out. I think you all probably can figure out that I have probably done some scripts before because I keep saying the same script over and over and over. And those of you that coach with me know, like we go over those scripts, right? We go over what is it you're going to say? How are you going to role play it? Make sure that you get it ingrained. Because as we know, the people that actually know what to say, the really scripted ones, those are the ones that don't sound canned, right? That's the thing that always cracked me up. Like you had the people that had no idea what they were talking about, and then they stammer and they don't sound like they know what they're talking about, right? And then you got the people who don't really practice their script, and so they're the ones that are like, hi, Mr. Jones, it's Todd Conklin, right? And then you've got the people that actually know what they're saying. They're saying, hey, Mr. Jones, what's happening? I've got well-qualified buyers looking to buy your neighborhood, right? Love that. Build that confidence. For those of you that have not read Grit, that's what Grit is all about. That's what that book is all about. What else? We got time for one more. One more hack.
Go hang out with someone who's comfortable.
Oh my gosh, what'd you say, Adam?
Go hang out with someone who is comfortable doing those things. Surround yourself with someone who is successful at it. You'll become successful at it much faster.
Yeah, right. Hang with beasts. Be a beast.
Yeah, and have a contest with someone. Don't make it an office thing, but we've got 2 agents here trying to get 20 calls. Who's the first one to 20 calls in a day? And they're all over each other. It's great to see, and they're getting stuff done.
Was it you that told me that they were fighting over calls yesterday?
Yeah.
That was awesome. You have to share that story.
Well, it's just they were right out in front of my office. I couldn't hear them because I don't listen to anyone. But one of them's like, "Well, I'm not going to do all 20 of them today," and the other one's like, "Yes, you are. Get it back in there." Like you could just see them articulating and in each other's faces, and they're both aggressive, and they were just sort of puffing up. And then they went back to their offices and did them. And as you're doing your calls, I mean, be comfortable, but we try to stand up doing them just because when you're seated, your energy is a little bit lower. And so if you're finding yourself not with a lot of energy on your call, stand up and be as dorky as do your Superman or Wonder Woman pose while you're doing it or before or whatever. I mean, those things work because your body responds to what you're doing with it. But doing stuff while you're seated doesn't work as well.
Love it.
Well, it's almost like people know you're sitting down, even though they can't see you.
All right, so I got to wrap up real fast. Thank you very much for everybody for participating. Do me a favor real quickly, right? I need to know who of you is going to Gen Blue? Jeff? Kelly? Cole? Schilling's going? Yazbek, aren't you going? Didn't I see you on the list?
Cole's going in my place.
I can't hear you, buddy.
Cole is going in my place.
Oh, okay, great. Anybody else?
Hey, Todd, quick question for you.
Yeah.
What did you say on your Facebook video this morning about like only 7 days left?
Yeah, so the price is
that a Coldwell Banker thing or?
Yeah, so listen, here's the deal, y'all. Gen Blue, Gen Blue is it. If you're not going to Gen Blue, I beg you to rethink your decision. And here's why, right? Like, and Yazbek can attest to this, right? I'm going to talk about Tom Ferry for just 1 second, right? Like, so we go to these Tom Ferry events, and he's the #1 coach in the world right now, right? He has less than 4,000 clients, right? He's the #1 coach in the world. He has less than 4,000 clients. So while I think Tom's message is amazing, right? You're going to an event that has 100,000 agents as part of it, right? Like Coldwell Banker has 100,000. Last I checked, the content that you're going to be exposed to at Gen Blue is going to be worthy of a company that's got 100,000 agents. What that means is all of those coaches, I'm talking, like Buffini and Ferry and Robertson, like all these coaches that are out there competing for the, again, top coach under 4,000 agents for the event. They're all being invited to be presenters at Gen Blue. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, best practice, it's there. If you're looking for marketing, it's there. If you're looking for networking, there's not been one time where we have gone to Gen Blue that one of the agents wasn't exposed and given a referral. Like, this is big shit, like really, really big shit. And of course, it helps you understand how to best leverage the brand. Mindset-wise, folks, these people are killing it, right? Like these are the people that you all want to be hanging out with because they're successful real estate agents. Many of them have had long, storied careers. They've made lots of mistakes. They've had lots of wins. Like, these are the folks you want to be hanging with. And then last but not least, Shannon and I are going to be doing something really, really special for the people that go, right? I can't tell you. It's a secret. All I can tell you is that it's worth it. That alone will be worth it. Well, maybe not, but it'll be a lot of fun. I promise you that. Okay. And then here's the last thing I'm going to give you. Okay. Last thing, because I'm kind of fired up today. I don't know if you all have noticed, but I'm fired up today. And the reason I'm fired up is because I'm watching people like Steve Schiff go out as the productivity guru. I'm watching people like Derek and Jeff and Julie and Keith and Alan. Well, maybe not Alan, but most of the leaders, right? And I'm watching them lead. Like, they're crushing it. They're beasts. They're doing so much shit that's for you. And here's how I can prove it, right? The marketing, like all of the things that we do, it's all geared towards one thing and one thing only. And that is helping you to build a business that provides you with a distinctive life. That's it, okay? Build a business, provide you with a distinctive life. We believe in scoreboards. We teach each and every one of you about the scoreboard. We talk about tracking and measuring. So I'm going to give you the scoreboard, right? We compared the average production of a Coldwell Banker agent in 2017 with the average production of a Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties agent in 2018. And you know what we found? The stuff that you're doing, the stuff that we're doing, it's working, right? 50.59% year-over-year increase average agent, right? 50.59% raise. Who wants one of those, right? Well, by the way, most of you got them, right? So here's the other thing we did, though, because I kept talking about the fact that, hey, listen, like all these other companies are saying that they can do it for less and they're going to give you the same experience, or, oh, hey, keep more of your money, or, hey, go, whatever it is, right? That shit frustrates me. Do you know why it frustrates me? It frustrates me because I believe in changing lives, and I know that what they're selling is bullshit. And I know what they do is yeah, right. Thank you, Pam, right? I know, right? She knows firsthand, unfortunately. I know that what they're saying is not truthful. I know that they are about to change people's lives in a negative way, and it breaks my heart, right? It breaks my heart. I know that we're going to continue to grow this business, right? And while I love the agents that we have, it breaks my heart when they leave. So what I did is I said, hey, listen, let's crunch some numbers. Let's figure out, maybe they're the smart ones. So we did. We took everybody that has left the company, and we took the 12 months of production that they were with us, the last 12 months, and we compared it to the next 12 months where they were with another company. Do you know what we found? They got a pay reduction of 37.55%. So the agents that stayed with Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties utilized the stuff, the coaching, the training, the marketing, the leadership, the whatever, right? Increased by 50%. Those that left reduced their business by more than 37%. That's an 88% swing. So do me a favor, right? Two things. Number one, get your ass involved, whether it be Gen Blue, marketing, coaching, whatever. And number two, go tell another agent, whether it be an agent in your office or an agent someplace else, about how wonderful this place is to work. You'd be doing me a huge solid. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. I love you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.